Lost in this hazy room, the darkness surrounds. Pulsating beats electrify the ground. I feel the energy, it's flowing through my veins.
Hey guys, it's April with the Phoenix Collective. We're a group of like-minded folks dedicated to the self-healing journey. That's just rediscovering who we are authentically, our childlike nature, how we were incarnated on this planet as perfect individuals. Okay, so we're really looking at the way that we interact with the world and the stimuli around us. How are we responding? Because remember, on this journey, we can only really be responsible for our own actions. And so that requires us to take a pause sometimes, right? Yeah, and look, like actually evaluate each situation we're in before we react. Okay? And this is difficult shit. I know, but we're all capable of doing that. All right. And especially as you heal yourself, you become less reactive and more stoic, right? You're able to kind of shut your mouth a little bit and actually look at the world and the motives of others before we're just responding from our own subconscious. Okay, so that's why the shadow work is so necessary, because until we do shadow work, and that's really looking at what triggers us and makes us go rogue in our quest for self-development. Okay, so we got to evaluate that and like what those triggers are and where they come from. This is shadow work. It's a Jungian philosophy, and something I live my life by. And trust me, as we peel back that layer of the onion, we're gonna find more and more, because once we get to the heart of our own beast, then you've got to think about it. Then we're pulling up past life bullshit and even ancestral bullshit that's encoded in our DNA. So it's kind of a never-ending process and a never-ending cycle, and it takes constant maintenance. All right. But by having a dedication to it, we're actually having a dedication to a better life, right? One free of ego and attachment. So we're having some hard ego death here. My name is April. I'm an intuitive and a tarot card reader. I read cards in 4 positions. I always start in the past. And actually, I can say I read five different positions now, because I've been doing a pre-shuffle to give the overarching theme of the reading and help me with my beginning channelings as well. So we got a pre-shuffle in there, and that just kind of gives us a little theme about what you're headed into. All right. And then we go into the past energy, and the past energy is how you're able to claim the reading. If it sounds like you, okay, the cards in that past, or a past scenario that is being brought up to the light, right? Because it directly affects the here and now and how you are interacting with your world. So you're either going to be on one side of these cards or the other if this reading is for you, and the other side is the cross-watcher side. And that might be that you might be the person that these cards are about and not the person. All right, but cross-watchers, you guys are welcome. And I'm sure these messages find you. There's no coincidence. If you've stumbled across my reading, there's probably some stuff you need to hear in what I'm saying. All right, it's all valuable stuff for navigating life as a human, seeking to better yourself, living a spiritual existence, because we're both. We can't get around that, guys. All right. And the world as a collective, we're eager for change. We're eager for knowledge. We're all kind of stepping into that spiritual warfare kind of or spiritual warrior, not warfare, kind of mentality, where we're seeking to that knowledge, which is the only way to combat fear and ignorance. And we're all a little more open-minded now that we've stepped into the age of Aquarius. And so this is a beautiful time for change. If you're new, welcome. I'm glad that you're here. All right. And after you're able to claim that reading, then we go into the subconscious. Now, this is, if you ask me, the most beneficial part of any tarot reading. All right. This is where we look at that metacognitive process, right? Which is so hard in this world. You can't see these things in other people. You can't see what's in their subconscious. You can't see how they're thinking. And the same goes for yourself. What lies in your shadow self and the way that you're triggered, really, you have to evaluate it right there when you're triggered. And we don't do that as humans, or we really don't, unless we're consciously trying to better ourselves. All right. We tend to stifle, like if you have a bad day at work, you go home and crack a beer, or you make a big meal, you veg out and binge watch TV, right? Or you get with your group of friends and you bitch about the day and you blame everybody else around you, or you go after them with a group, or if somebody hurt your feelings, you try and sabotage them. These are all things that we do in order to avoid accountability. Yeah. Those of you on this path, those of you in the Phoenix Collective are trying to make changes to not do this anymore. Okay. And it's a slow, steady process, and we're not going to be perfect at it. And, I kind of, anytime cause I mean, shit, I'm not perfect. I might be delivering a message, but that's all I am, is a messenger. I'm still a spiritual being living a human existence, and I still get triggered, but I get a little bit excited when that happens. Okay. And those lingering feelings I get of embarrassment or shame or anxiety, fear over the actions I just took that might not have been something I was proud of, I get a little excited because I'm like, yay, shadow work. Today I get to evolve as a human. So we're really just switching our thinking, and we're able to put the pause on and be able to navigate things easier by saying, hey, this is familiar. I've been here before. I don't want to act like this, right? And really getting into the reasons where that came from. We've got to uncover it, guys. We have to uncover the origins. All right. And this is inner child work. And sometimes, like my inner child, I make her a tangible thing. Okay. Sometimes I realize, I'm acting out of fear of abandonment. I'm acting out of feelings of lack or feelings of not being good enough. So you know what I do? I kind of just scoop my inner child up and I put her in my lap and I give her all the attention she needs. Okay. I might carry her around for the day and comfort her and tell her she's safe if she doesn't feel secure in a situation. You guys, these are all real things that our bodies go through when they're triggered, because it stems from trauma and programming and conditioning and the things we've stifled from our past. So we have to bring that up into the light so we understand it and we can integrate that into our being. If you know you have these issues and you know the origin of it, it becomes so much easier to navigate your life and you stop reacting from it. Okay? All right. So that's that metacognitive process of being able to look at the world around you and see what's unseen. Super muy importante. All right. And then we go into the here and now, because all of those, the past cards and the subconscious cards, all have influence over what's going on right here, right now. Otherwise, they wouldn't have come up in the reading. All right. So it's beneficial. And then we show the outcome if you stay on the path that you're on. Okay. Right. Because we have free will, personal empowerment, and the ability to change our outcome. This is how you quantum leap and quantum jump into your highest timeline. All right? We're not gatekeeping this information, guys. All right? We're sharing it with everybody that wants to hear. Okay. So I did a little pre-shuffle here and I delved right into the 5D. The 5D is just it's the dream world. It's the spirit world. And this is where our spirit guides are, and the archangels and all the guides that we have. Okay. And I picked Yahel. Okay. Now, Yahel is the desire to know, the acquisition of wisdom. Okay. It's the rediscovery of self-knowledge and returning to authenticity. So it's kind of the Phoenix archangel, right? Because that's exactly what we're doing here, right? We're alchemizing everything that we've been through. We're breaking it down into what we can handle and what we can understand of it, and then rising up from that, right? In pure authenticity. We're getting rid of what doesn't serve us. We're letting go of the things that don't serve you no more. Yeah. It's important shit to let go of the past, okay? Especially as we understand it and tackle it. We don't have to carry that with us anymore. And it's freeing. It's freeing to grow. Then we can alchemize that into personal growth and change. All right. It facilitates introspection, reflection, and understanding, finding peace, tranquility, and beauty. So this angel is, man, is here to help us just look at those shadows that we still have left and the self-doubt. We've done a lot of work. I can feel like we've done a lot of work because I'm getting the healer. All right, and it's impossible. So this reading today is for my healers. And you know, healers, we can come in many shapes and sizes. You know, Jesus was a carpenter, right? It doesn't matter. You know, you might not be like a practitioner, you might not be a doctor, you might not be a nurse, might not be a care provider of any sort, but you know, even a gas station attendant or a hotel agent, you interact with the world, and the experiences you have with each person is intimate and can be very healing. My grid workers, my light workers, if you're a grid worker, just by being in a certain location, you emit an energy that's alchemizing and holding peace and light in that area. So there's many, you might be a healer and not even know it. But here's the most important thing to understand is if you're a healer, that means you've healed yourself. Okay? Because you can't give what you don't have. So I'm talking to some healed motherfuckers today. That's who this reading is for. And also those without expectations. Wow. What does that mean? Okay. It's that ability to interact with the world and its experiences without being overly influenced by desires, fears, and expectations, and without clinging to specific outcomes. Okay. It's a real fluid state of being where you are, it's kind of that Buddha, that middle path. It's understanding your light and your dark, right? So you've uncovered all your shadows. You know that those triggers are there and they're still part of you. They don't go away. It just becomes easier to navigate when you're aware of them. Okay? All right, so that you have this personal awareness and you're not forcing outcomes of the people in your life to be a certain thing. Because you know what? If you have expectations of me that I'm not aware of or I haven't agreed to, that's setting me up to fail. So we're not setting people up to fail. We realize that in this life, we're going to interact with people, and that everyone we're co-creating this reality together, but everybody is having their own unique experience. All right. And it would be rude of me to try and force your experience to mold into what I want you to be. I can't be responsible for that. And you can't be responsible for that. I can only be responsible for me. All right. So it's really living your life in a very fluid way that is, you know, in the moment, it's present. It's being able to like navigate any situation, allowing everybody to have their own feelings, their own perspectives, and their own experiences. And in relationships, it's having, you know, honestly, you have to be healed in order to reach this point in a relationship, right? You have had to come into a place of self-love and have your own purpose and know your purpose and be able to and have recognized your shadows to get a partner that's on that same vibration, that's in their own purpose with their own things going on, and then you don't have any attachments or expectations in them to be anything specific for you because you're perfectly imbalanced for yourself. So then you guys can co-create together. It forms like a third entity in a relationship, any partnership, be it work, school group, families, friends, relationship, lovers, not having expectations and allowing everybody to be at the phase in the self-healing journey that they're on. It's not up to you to control. Yeah. So reaching this point is, yeah, I mean, congratulations if this reading is for you. as you've really gotten to a pretty stable spot in your life, and I'm proud of you. So I'm going to shuffle the cards now, and I'm going to pull up cards in the past and see if you can claim this reading. I'll be right back. Give me a second. You're not going to feel a thing. All right, I really am feeling a career reading today or a life path reading, spiritually reading always. Okay, so keep that in mind because we are on the spiritual journey here in the Phoenix Collective. All right, so if you're looking for a more gossipy read, yeah, you're not going to get that from me. Everything is spiritually guided, okay? So I'm first picking up the Page of Swords, and what the Page of Swords to me is picking up on a characteristic of a person. This is a person that has like a zeal, a zest, and is an effective communicator. They're enthusiastic about what they're doing, and they're delivering effective communication within the organization that they're in and just in their life. They know how to talk. They're excited. Okay, they're eager to learn more, and they are effectively interacting with the world around them. They might not know everything, but they know when to shut up when they don't, and ask for help. And but for the most part, they are efficient and enthusiastic and easy to get along with. Okay, and then we've got the Knight of Swords, which that's really what's showing us that there's some fast action going on here with whatever it is that we're going to be encountering in this reading. So this characteristic that of just being an effective communicator and easy to interact with, it's a cooperative nature of partnership. It's somebody that you want to do business with. Okay, and that looks like there's some prosperity coming in quick here, and some growth. That's what this Knight is bringing in. Okay, there are no limits to my energy and sense of wonder. Like there's no lack mentality or vulnerability. We're charging straight forward into the unknown without fear and excitement, which is the perfect energy to be in. Okay, when you're trying to create anything for yourself. This is where growth and success comes from. This is where people that have really actually achieved success in their life, this is the energy they're in. Okay, that they fiercely, they don't give a fuck what other people think about them. They're knowledgeable, they're proficient in their delivery, and they really embody what their mission and their purpose is, and have a commitment to that. I'm not getting this is a relationship commitment. I'm getting that this is a dedication to the craft, to the purpose, to the business, and I'm also getting that this project, this business endeavor is on purpose. It's on your mission and purpose. You've tapped into that, and you are divinely guided in that. Okay, so this feels like your energy, or feels like the energy of somebody you know you're dealing with, then this message is going to be for you. But please understand that as the Phoenix Collective grows, so does, my audience grows, and my messages get real specific or just really general. So there might not be things in here that are for you, and if it makes you feel angry in any way, then don't force it to fit. Okay, if it irritates you, then just click off, because this message isn't going to be for you. My messages are not meant to give you any kind of aggravation. All right. Also, real quick, I'm going to do some housekeeping before I head on into this reading. I am still open for personal readings, and I don't see that closing anytime soon. You can find me on Medium Chat, and if you don't know about Medium Chat, it's a great site, very well known. All of the readers on there, including myself, have been vetted extensively in order to become advisors on there. In fact, you guys, my work just did this remote viewing Easter egg hunt where they hid like 6 eggs remotely. And as advisors, they had us do like an Easter egg hunt with remote viewing. And I actually found 3 of the eggs. So yeah, I got a little extra money in my pocket because of that, and it's just a little boost of confidence. So yeah, the advisors on there are good. The first 3 minutes are free, and yeah, you don't even have to pick me. Okay, like if you resonate with somebody else, go for it. All right. Please, if you haven't done so, please follow me. Hit that follow button. I just need like 1,000 more subscribers to actually start monetizing on this channel. So if you want to help me out with that, that'd be great. Hit the like button if this video, resonated with you. All right. So we're going to go into the subconscious now to see what's hidden. I'll be right back. I'm going to shuffle the cards. All right. So in the subconscious, what you don't see coming is I pulled a pair here, okay? The King and the Queen of Cups. Now the Queen of Cups is that nurturing feminine energy. She's a mother. She's very much, this is some Cancer energy, some water energy, emotions, and she really has that ability, just that overall, that nurturing ability. Okay, she cares. She actually gives two fucks. And then we have the King of Cups, who embodies that emotional intelligence. Super important. Emotional independence. Yeah. Emotional independence is boundaries. The Queen of Cups might be a little iffy on that sometimes because she loves hard. So she needs a strong counterpart on her side. And that's that King of Cups that has that emotional intelligence and independence to understand when things are a you problem and not a me problem. It's a I'm sorry you feel that way kind of thing. You don't feel that need to rescue everybody and solve all their problems. So together they make a very balanced pair that is emotionally sensitive to the world around them, but without over doing it and with boundaries up. All right. And so I see that this is I'm feeling two different things. Okay. I'm feeling two different things very much. And Spirit is confirming this for me, that there is a couple, a masculine and a feminine energy, in a business sense, in a partnering sense, in that's going to be really important in your self-healing journey. That is actually like the work that you do. Okay. Like I said, I felt like this was a career reading and not a love reading, but I do also see you attaining this for yourself. Okay. With that non-attachment attitude and the energy that you are in as having done the self-healing work, that this is also you are attracting a partner that is coming at you with equal energy. Okay. And within love and in business. Okay, so you're getting both. Yeah, congratulations. Okay, and this is because of the commitment that you've had to like bettering yourself. That now that's what you're attracting, because your vibration has lifted and there's no resistance to that. All right. And like, honestly, you couldn't even, I'm telling you, when you get to this phase of self-healing, you can't even deal with a low vibe partner anymore. Somebody that's all needy and attached to you and throwing a fit when they don't get their way, or trying to like treat you like crap or tell you things about yourself. Like, once you've evolved as a human, you won't even accept that bullshit in your life. Okay? It's not even negotiable. Like, when that comes into your subtle system, interacting with just a person like that, it's like the red flags. You're done. You're gone. Yeah, you'll be kind, but you're not going to engage at all. It's so funny because like I had an ex that was like literally stalked me for like almost like 9 months under the guise, under the kind of the excuse that, well, you didn't respond to me. Yeah, my response is a response, right? Okay, I didn't just ghost you. I zombied you. That shit's dead. Right? Okay, so like that kind of shit isn't even worth your time. All right, so I see that coming, and I also see a move to calmer waters, and I believe that's going to be assisted by this pair. Okay, you're going to be sailing off into calmer waters, a new beginning here. That's well earned. Well earned. And this is probably where you're going to meet that King of Cups or that Queen of Cups, depending on if you're male or female. Remember, tarot does not speak in genders, it speaks in energy. All right. I'm seeing that you're in your North Node, which is like, honestly, this is just confirmation of what I've been saying. When you're in your North Node, that just means you're on purpose. Yeah. I mean, I always say all my compasses lead north. All of them. Okay. True north, baby. True fucking north. Once you're headed north, then you are absolutely right on time. And by that, I mean you're on your purpose. You know where you're headed. You're divinely guided. You are receiving accurate information because you've cleared out the mind fuckery. I always call that, like, when I was in active addiction and as a child with just being in a very narcissistic family, I used to have that ticker tape, like when you watch CNN, how you see that going on the bottom. My mind was constantly in motion, and it's probably why what led me to my active addiction was to make that fucking stop, right? I didn't want to be constantly, I called it K-fuck. I needed to turn the freaking station. All right. So, we're free of that. Okay. And I see that we are now in our North Node, and everything is very calm, very clear, very slow, and very manageable, because we are heading in the right direction, and we're letting our intuition and the divine messages from our guides and God and Spirit guide us. All right. Intuitively what moves to make. Okay. You're very clear on that because of the energy you're in. All right. And we all divinely have these gifts and the ability to do this, but it takes work and acknowledgement and that ability to be self-reflective. All of those things that Yahil, where'd my angel go? That Yahil, I don't know how I lose these cards. They're like, I'm not sitting in a spot where I should be able to lose these guys. But anyway, Yahil, the angel that we pulled today, is guiding us to do, right? Is to seek that spiritual knowledge and self-knowledge in order to navigate the world, right? We understand that the actions that we take affect other people. So we have to think about other people as ourself, which is that law of one, right? That we are all fractals of source, that we all are connected as one. So we need to treat other people that way. Okay? And you got this, baby. You got this. You know this. I ain't telling you anything new. We're on the same bat frequency here. All right. So let's go ahead and look at the here and now and see what all of this is saying. But yeah, it looks like we're sailing away into some new beautiful time. One sec. What a long, strange trip it's been. Hey, that trip is over. Okay, and so this is the World card, which is the end of a cycle. So the people that I'm speaking to today have ended a cycle. So like I said, we have mastered self and that law of non-attachment, and that we are, I found the card. With Yahel, we are really delving into ourselves and making the next right moves in life, right? That are not selfish. Okay, so as cycle breakers, and you are, that's what this I'm picking up on. It's because you've ended that cycle that this is going to be the start of your new one. Now remember, see all those swords in the boat? Just because you're moving doesn't mean you're not carrying everything that you've learned with you. All those are the lessons that you've learned, and they're not going to go away, guys. It doesn't go away. In fact, we carry them into our next lives, okay? And we have a lot that we're carrying from past lives that we will eventually get to as we work out this life, okay? Or that are directly affecting this life, all right? So it's important to still acknowledge them as part of you, because you're going to carry them wherever you go. Even though you're leaving that choppy water into like a clear new day, doesn't mean that these lessons go away. In fact, they made you who you are. So remember that. We're not ashamed of them. We're not embarrassed of them. We wear them like a badge of honor. Everything that I've been through, there's nothing about my past, my present, my future that I'm ever going to hide. All of this has distinctly made me who I am. And if it weren't for each one of those lessons, each one of those shitbags, each one of those like people that schooled me on my path or taught me, or, you know, every single person that I've encountered has taught me something about myself. Okay. They've taught me how to love. They've taught me what I deserve. They've taught me what I will tolerate. They've helped me strengthen my intelligence and my emotional intelligence. They've motivated me to grow and to learn and to be better so that I can break cycles and not have to come back to them next life. And also, when we break cycles, we're healing generational trauma in our families because somebody has to be brave enough to do it. Okay. And this, like, honestly, if you're a cycle breaker, God bless you. You are a badass being of light. Okay, because you're doing all that work for your family, okay, and for the next generations to come, so that they don't carry those same traits with them, okay? Like, you're abolishing the you know, narcissistic behavior and abuse and scapegoating and, you know, all that bullshit that families do to each other in order, you know, the status and power and greed and teaching others to harm for their own gain, that kind of shit. By you're ending that. So congratulations. And, you know, congratulations are in order. You are being rewarded by spirit, because it looks like you're heading in. You are now in your Empress energy. Hey, there's just no better energy to be in. She is a co-creator with all that is around her. Do you see that? She understands the cycles of life and how to interact with Mother Earth and the Earth plane. She also has a direct connection to the 5D. She's perfectly centered in her heart space, and she acts only with love. She embodies all the queens, every single last one of them. And she knows how to seamlessly navigate life and harness the queen energy that she needs to navigate each situation. She knows when to be stoic and step into her Queen of Swords energy and shut her mouth and be, you know, gray rock it up. Just watch, people. She knows when she needs to exert love and nurturing to others with boundaries. Okay. She also has a passion and a dedication to her mission and purpose, as well as that connection to the earth, right? And the abundance and the cycles of the earth, and with gratitude and love for what it gives us, right? Mother Earth transmutes our pain. She gives us everything we need to survive. And so it's like understanding that is very much, she understands the power that money has in life as well, and is very balanced with it. She's not caught up with greed or status and power. She understands that she has an obligation and a duty to be balanced and fair with that and give back as much as she has. And she really, material things, she don't give a shit, dude. She'd rather be a gypsy. All of these queens would rather be a gypsy. All right, traveling light. Right? Traveling light, because we can't take that shit with us when we go, okay? All right. And so really this spirit is rewarding you with that real love. And this real love is not, this is self-love for sure. It's self-love, but it's also like love in with like the soul family, the soul tribe. And I'm not talking family. Okay? Just because we're birthed into a group of beings doesn't mean that that's our soul tribe. And as you lift your vibration, your soul tribe will attract to you. Okay? Because those are the people that are on your frequency. And we don't have a choice in the families that we're brought up, raised, birthed into. That most likely, if you're a cycle breaker or just a generational curse breaker, that you were birthed into a family, and you're probably the black sheep. I'm probably talking to some black sheep, some people that were outcasted because they were different. Yeah, because they didn't want to participate in the mental game and mind fuckery of that family, of, you know, and they just your morals and your values are very much in contrast to the people that you were born into, and in fact you were born here to end the cycles of that and make changes so that that doesn't continue on. You're healing your family lineage, and there's going to be pushback because they are definitely, when people are in that energy, that's the devil. It really is. It's negative energy that has gotten a hold of them, and so they're acting out of that energy, and they're not looking at themselves. I mean, these are people that are forcing narratives of others and manipulating, and only concerned with validation of the outside world and not actually being good people themselves. Yeah, so they're hiding behind churches and organizations and like putting on affluence and airs and what they do, but they're not actually being good people. Ugh. Okay. But they, honestly, by combating these cycles, this is what makes changes, because then they are forced with that dark night of the soul that I talk about all the time, right? When God takes everything away from you. So really you're forcing them into having to make changes and assign meaning to their life. It's a tower. Okay. So and it's the natural cycle of life. Okay. Yeah, so we're learning from each other. So there's that symbiotic relationship. You need the light and the dark in order for change to occur. Point blank, period. Okay, let's see what the outcome is going to be and where we're headed. I'll be right back. Okay. So it says that you're a sweetheart, and I'm sure that you are. Yeah. And because you've uplifted yourself into an energy where you can be. You could be authentically you and care about people again. When you're stuck in that lower vibration, being in that Queen of Cups, like loving energy, is taken advantage of and weaponized against you. And then as you get into that Queen of Swords energy to protect yourself, you become kind of a removed from people. But as you stepped into that Empress energy, you can navigate the earth plane, knowing when to be in what energy, and it doesn't affect you much. You're not traumatized by it because of the healing work that you've done. All right, so that's who I'm talking to today, right? That now you can just let your freak flag fly and be the sweetheart you are, okay? And that you are definitely the magician, and this is like my favorite, okay? Because magicians get a bad rap, right? Because only when they're in reverse. When they're in reverse, they're casting spells, they're manipulating, they're using their words to create illusion and confusion around people and manipulate things and play fucking mind fuckery games. It's everything that I'm allergic to. I break out in a rash when I'm around those people. I'm telling you, like, it hits my subtle system and I can feel it. And and the person I'm talking to today is also can feel that shit too, because you're upright, and when you're upright, you are the magic, baby. You have all the tools to navigate this world, okay? And it's your intentions and positive thoughts that are co-creating all the beauty around you and success, because you've lifted your vibration. There's no resistance to the world of your freaking dreams, baby. It's all yours and it's all attainable. Okay, because you are perfectly in line with that vibration. It's not something that's way up here anymore. It's not something that you're attaining to accomplish and be. Like, you are that. You are. And nobody can change that, right? Nobody can change that. And I see that wherever you're headed on this journey, in that boat, with all the swords and lessons that you've learned, you're going to be successful. Look at that. Victory, recognition. My successes are worth celebrating. It's been a long, strange trip. It's been... but it's all been worth it, because look where you are. Yeah, congratulations. Whoever this reading's for, thank you for letting me be the messenger of it. You're a badass being a light, dude. Put some comments down there. I would love, like, I'm so proud of my collective and the people in it. If this is the energy of you, if you're not part of the collective, hit the subscribe button right fucking now, because I need more members like you in the tribe, in the vibe tribe, okay? Like, uplifting the consciousness to a higher vibration, which is our goal, okay? Once we get to this point, guys, where we've acquired all the knowledge of that healer knowledge of how to heal ourselves, we have a duty and obligation to bring that to the greater collective through the short throat chakra, through the heart chakra, through the solar plexus, right? With that confidence of being who we are and that sacral energy which creates it, okay? Firmly attached through that root chakra to the earth, allowing the clear, meaningful downloads from the 5D to guide us in our intuition and to see things accurately. Okay? We're well balanced individuals. I'm proud of you and how, like, all the work that you've done. So you have an obligation now to share that information and embody that in all the work that you do and everywhere you go. I don't care if you're a garbage man, if you're a gas station attendant, if you are cleaning pools, or if you are, you know, giving speeches, if you're another tarot card reader or a healer or a practitioner. You have an obligation to embody the knowledge that you've learned on this in this experience and share it with others, right? Because, baby, I can see you shining way over here. You're glowing. You're beautiful from the inside out. And that in and of itself makes, and just the energy that you radiate when you're pure like this, when you've gone through that alchemical process, right, of burning yourself down to the finest state, others feel it. It's a vibration and an energy, okay? It's a vibration and an energy, and they're like, whoa, I need sunglasses right now because I can't even see you. You are shining so bright. What? Tell me, how'd you do that? Look at him. Look at her. I want some of that. That's what people are saying. So you got a duty and obligation to share that now and help resolve the karmas of this planet, okay? Because that's what you're doing when you've healed yourself. Then all the work that you do through sharing that resolves the collective karma, okay? So, hey, remember, we're all in different phases of this self-healing journey, okay? So don't be forcing anybody to see things your point of view. Don't be trying to get other people to perceive things. Let's have that non-attachment attitude, right? Of just being fluid and seamlessly and living within our own experience to help co-create this reality, all right? Which means we're all suffering this human condition together. So be kind to yourself. Be kinder to those around you. Namaste.